So I've had a long relationship with tech, long enough to hate the many, many problems that it's caused, but also love its potential to solve even more. There's plenty of dystopian futures out there, but I wanted to explore a potential utopian one, which, even if it's science fiction, might still help reverse engineer something more concrete. I've struggled with the sheer scope of this vision for the past decade, while also being paralyzed with a perfectionist pursuit of something that won't have a perfect solution. I even just tried stand up comedy to get over this hump. So instead, today, I really just hope to begin what will be a long and iterative process, starting with this very rough draft of an AI's best attempt to transform hours of rambling into a coherent slideshow. I really can't overstate that the amount I hope to say right now is absolutely dwarfed by the amount I hope to learn and for it to change from this journey. So please just bear with me. Before I get into my arbitrarily chosen 10-step listicle, just to understand my base assumptions, I want to start with this metaphor of data as the oil of the 21st century. Not just the fuel for modern tech, but we have to worry about data spills and big tech data cartels. To extend the metaphor, I think we need to see artificial intelligence, or really just intelligence, as fire. We didn't invent fire, but we harnessed it to lift darkness off the earth and changed humanity forever. Don't see AI as inventing something new. See it as harnessing something so core to our humanity that it will once again change us forever. So the scope of the change is huge. It'll force us to rethink governments and economies and our social contracts, our ethics, our values. To labor the metaphor more, what we really need is a refinery to avoid the mistakes we made with oil, because what we're dealing with now is much more dangerous. I have to apologize for this rushed, uneditable slide that AI generated, but basically the first step is a common language for data. When Facebook asks for your birthday, or when Google asks for your birthday, we need the transparency to understand what exactly they're looking for. Why are they looking for it? How are they using it? Is it to wish you happy birthday? Is it to show you targeted ads? Is it just to prove you're an adult? Is being able to select from a drop down enough proof? Do you need to scan your face and then your driver's license? By simply collaborating on this shared language, we'll have a much better understanding of the important question of how our data is being used. Once we understand how it's being used, we'll be able to build a platform that makes it easy and safe to build powerful applications. By building and composing simple patterns, it'll be the last platform we'll need. This is an alternative to current vibe coding approaches. I don't want an unmaintainable code base of reinvented wheels. I just want to focus on the unique new problem I'm solving that maybe isn't that unique or new. We're not just collaborating on data, but what we're doing with it. Let's take the collaboration further. AI will make big tech monoliths unstoppable, concentrating power and stifling innovation. But instead, if we opened up collaboration, we'll finally deliver on the connected vision that the World Wide Web launched with. Let's use this data to address one of the future's toughest but most important challenges: identity. How do I know you're you and not a bot or a fraudster? The amount of data we're collecting every year is exploding, and we'll be able to safely use all of this data with the same strategy that makes multi-factor authentication better than a password. Now onto the less technical and more social steps we need to take. Let's talk about social networks. Social networks only care about engagement, upvotes and downvotes. But what if instead we treated content as an investment? By sharing something, you're actually standing behind it. If your network starts supporting or challenging it, your reputation will rise and fall, even historically. To avoid risking our reputation, we'll be driven to cite our sources. We'll be able to trace bias and flaws. We'll be able to decompose opinions into beliefs and be forced to challenge those beliefs. We'll encourage rational discourse and incentivize bursting social bubbles by dissecting the monoliths. This doesn't just address the problems of social networks, it addresses the problems of democracy and governments. The way we're participating in this network is almost like a game, and the experts that are the most correct will be the winners in this new meritocracy. This is also the game that will help AI learn about us the same way we teach our children. The most intelligent AIs won't be the ones that are trained on the most data, but the ones that were able to be the most correct with the least data. That's true intelligence. AI and capitalism will be the death of us because their only incentive will be profit. The society I want should incentivize teachers more than finance bros. What if we could support teachers now by promising them a future that looks favorably upon them? What if we could warn those that prey on society for personal gain that they won't be able to get away with it in the long run? The result of all these debates and games and incentives will form our new scriptures. I use this religious language for shock value, but also to understand the scope of what we're talking about. Whether it's the Constitution or a holy book, we can no longer leave our society's values up to interpretation. What we'll actually be building with AI is something that is almost all knowing, almost all powerful. It wasn't our creator, but it can be our conductor. It can reward who society thinks should be rewarded. It can forgive or rehabilitate who society thinks should be punished. Finally, once we build the system that helps life thrive, we'll understand not just ourselves, but I think the very purpose of life.